Day 10. 8. One of my brothers died last night. I witnessed that moment. He swam frantically in the tank. On and on, without rest. His brain seemed compromised. The hormones had destroyed his nervous system. Finally, exhausted, he sank. His movements ceased. His eyes remained open. The colossal being didn't discover it until morning. Test subject 12, discarded due to nervous system damage. Side effect of excessive cortisol administration. He sighed as he removed the corpse. He seemed annoyed. It wasn't sadness. It was because the experiment results were unsatisfactory. I was certain in that moment. The giant entity doesn't see us as living beings. We are tools, data, disposable things. Then I could see him as an enemy too. Week 2. 7. I was now over 20 centimeters. My weight must have been around 500 grams. A normal turtle would take 6 months to grow to this size. I had achieved it in just 2 weeks. My body was constantly hungry. My cells demanded energy. For growth. For change. The giant being fed me every day. Fish, squid, shrimp. All living things. I mastered the art of hunting perfectly. Speed, timing, the angle to bite. It wasn't instinct, it was learning. The teeth in my mouth now formed 3 rows. Like a shark. If one row broke, the next grew in its place. The reflection in the mirror was no longer a turtle. It was a monster. Dr. Carver's experiment log, day 14. Survival, 7/23. Survival rate, 30.4%. Success metrics. Test subject 1. Male 21 centimeters, 530 g, fully developed teeth, 100% hunting success rate. Test subject 2. Female 19 centimeters, 480 g, teeth developing, 95% hunting success rate. Failure analysis. 5 specimens. Internal organ damage due to rapid growth, 4 specimens. Nervous system damage due to hormonal overload, 3 specimens. Immune system collapse, 4 specimens. Carapace deformities. Conclusion. Survival rate is low, but surviving specimens exhibit unexpected changes. Specimens 1 and 2 are particularly perfect success cases. Next step. Competition experiment. Place them in the same space to observe dominant structure. Anticipated. Week 3, day of the competition experiment. That morning, a massive presence began transferring us one by one into a large tank. Me, 1 female, and 2 other males. 4 of us in one space. The space was vast, but not vast enough for us. Instinct whispered, "Defend your territory. Eliminate the rival." One of the other males swam toward me. A challenge. We stared each other down. Then we charged. Water exploded. Teeth clashed. I bit his fin. He bled without a scream. He countered. His teeth sank into my neck. It hurt, but I didn't stop. I was stronger, faster, more vicious. The final blow. I tore into his throat. Blood spurted explosively. Convulsions. Then death. Outside the tank, a massive presence recorded. Test subject 1 victorious. Time, 3 minutes 42 seconds. Perfect predator behavior. I began tearing into the corpse. Because I was hungry. And because victory tasted sweet. The female watched me from a distance. Fear was in her eyes. But so was respect. 1 other male remained. He crouched in a corner. He didn't fight. He surrendered. The massive entity recorded that too. Interesting. Dominance hierarchy forming. Alpha specimen emerging. From that day on, I was the ruler of that tank. 1 month later. Only 5 remained. The male who surrendered last week died. It seemed to be from stress. He refused food, stayed in the corner, and one day sank to the bottom. Another male was pulled out by the giant entity. A failure case, it said. Its shell was cracking. It had grown too fast. I heard its screams. From the far side of the basement, the sound of a knife. Then silence. Now, there were 3 of us. Me, the female, and 1 small male. I was over 50 centimeters. Weighed 15 kilograms. In just 1 month, The teeth in my mouth were now fully developed. I could tear through anything I could bite. The female was 45 centimeters. She was strong. Not as strong as me, though. We didn't bite each other. Instinct told us. We were mates. The small male survived. He was weak, but clever. He avoided me and didn't touch the female. That's why he lived. The colossal being looked satisfied. A pair and a spare. Perfect. Now we can move to the next stage. The madness in his eyes deepened. Test subject number 2, female turtle's perspective. I was the smallest of 23 siblings. I was weak from the moment I hatched. Even inside the egg, I was the last to stir. I was buried deepest among the eggs mother laid. I received the least warmth. I awoke last. When my siblings were already breaking free from the sand, I was still struggling with my shell. I had to survive. That was my only thought. When I finally emerged onto the sand, my siblings were already far ahead. I desperately chased after them. Then the giant being appeared. I was the last one placed in the bucket. The 23rd. Day 1. The beginning of hell. When I received the first injection, I thought I was dying. My brother screamed. I screamed too. But it was a silent scream. The liquid spread through my body. It was fire. Fire burning my flesh. I vomited. I convulsed. I lost consciousness. When I woke, the tank beside me was empty. My brother was dead. I had to survive. That thought alone held me. Day 3. My body kept rejecting it. Vomiting, shaking, skin peeling. The giant entity marked me as high potential failure case. But I didn't give up. On the 4th night, something changed. My body finally began accepting the chemicals. My cells stopped fighting and started adapting. I would survive. No matter the cost. Day 7. Teeth began growing in me too. Small, but sharp. When I first saw a living fish, I was terrified. I was a herbivore. I was meant to eat seaweed. But I was too hungry. The fish circled the tank. I watched. Then I hunted. The first bite. The first taste of blood. It was disgusting. But at the same time, it was ecstatic. I wanted more. My cells screamed. More. More. That day, I lost something. Something like purity. Instead, I gained something. The instinct to survive. The instinct of a predator. Week 2. I was now as big as my brothers. Weak as I was, I grew fastest. The giant being marveled. Test subject 2. Unexpected resilience. Adaptability outstanding. But I knew. This wasn't recovery but transformation. I was no longer a turtle.